Hey folks, Engineer 775 here with a really cool product on my porch. We're about to unbox, assemble, and check out this SilverFire pizza oven. It is a SilverFire Dragon oven is what it's called. It is the first gasified pizza oven. Everything is stainless steel, and so it is unlike some of the black oven pizza ovens that you've seen, the wood-fired pizza ovens. There's no emissions from this. Obviously, I haven't run it yet, but you'll see here shortly when we make our first pizza how awesome this thing works. So I'm really excited, thankful that it showed up in good condition from Oregon, and we're going to be reviewing it, making some pizza, possibly the world-famous Practical Preppers pizza, and we'll fire it up. So I can't get in here to show you, but as we unpackage and set it up to cook with and fire it up for the first time, we'll show you step by step. Hey folks, Engineer 775 here. I'm excited to share with you this latest product from SilverFire. You know, I've shared over the last few years all of their amazing stoves. I'm very thankful working with Todd Albee and all of his amazing products that he has brought to us, and this is the grand finale here. This is an amazing oven. It is called the SilverFire Dragon oven. It's a pizza and bread oven, and let me show you some of the things about it that are just mind-boggling. If you've ever looked to to build your own pizza oven, or look to even buy a kit or something like that, they can be quite expensive. And they're also usually masonry. They take a lot of time to heat up. They take a lot of wood. If it's a wood-fired pizza oven, it takes a lot of wood to operate and to maintain. And the amazing thing about the SilverFire products, again, they use gasification. This one uses 3 levels. It's actually 4 levels of combustion, 3 levels of gasification. Let me tell you a little bit about it. First of all, it is an oven, so I'm going to open the oven door. I'm going to show you. It looks like a traditional oven. These hanging shelves here, and it's got drip trays. It's not just for breads and pizzas, but you can also smoke. It has a smoking port here, so you can do prime ribs, all different types of meats and cheeses, and there's a lot of things that you can do in this super well insulated oven. And today I'm going to be baking, just to show you, I'm going to be baking a loaf of bread, and it's an amazing product. You see this hammered stainless steel. It's a beautiful looking stove. Has this stack with this little like Chinese emperor rain drip cover there. It's got some shelves on it that are removable. Got some storage under here, plenty of room to store items, and it's got a secondary air for secondary combustion that controls that draft there. But the firebox, which I'm going to show you here, I'm going to light up. I don't have anything in it right now. I've just run it a couple times and brought it up to 500 degrees in 35 minutes. That's the amazing thing, is the preheat time is comparable, almost comparable to your conventional ovens, and because of the way this firebox works. So it's a very small but efficient firebox. Here's the ashtray. You can see I've burned it a couple of times, and that's it. So let's fire this baby up and show you what it's doing. Again, thermometer here. You see the probe on the inside for the thermometer, and so let's go ahead and get a fire started. And like most gasifiers and gasification, it's kind of like building an upside down fire. You want to have the heavy wood on the bottom and the smaller wood up on top. And so let's go ahead and show you. And the cool thing, like I'm just using some wood that I have. This is going to be plenty of wood right here to start the stove, preheat the stove, and actually bake our bread. And we're going to bake our bread for about 20 minutes at 400 degrees. And this will be more than enough wood. It would take 10 times this to bring a bread oven that was ceramic up to operating temperature and actually hold it. So gasification can't be beat. I don't think it's possible to beat the efficiency of this. This will be my fourth fourth run with it, actually baking something other than frozen pizzas and apple turnovers. But I was more playing around with the fire than the actual product. So, all right. So now I'm going to pretend to be a baker, which I'm not. So, but my wife is actually preparing the bread, and that's a good thing. So let's make a fire. Okay, so I've just started the timer stopwatch, and I've just started the fire. Let's take a peek in here. And it's not really taken off yet, but I put the light wood on top and the heavier wood on the bottom. And then it's a little tiny door here. That's all you need. And then I open up the ashtray just for letting in primary combustion air to get it going. And so we're starting with the temperature down at the bottom. It's a pretty cold day out here. Well, it's not too bad. It's about 35. So we'll see how she does and how long it takes for her to come up to temperature. I'm going to shoot for 500 and 475 and then back down and adjust the secondary to airflow, close off the primary, and then just coast, and then we'll cook and bake our bread for 20 minutes roughly. Okay, I wanted to kind of give you a blow-by-blow here. It's 5 minutes in, and wanted to show you the fire at 5 minutes. It's doing pretty good. You can see the heat going up. We're not truly into full gasification mode. The fire's just getting going. Starting to look pretty nice though. Nice clean flame. We don't have a lot of smoke coming out of the chimney. She's starting to gasify really well. So I start hearing the metal tinging away as she heats up. And you can see I don't know if you can see the holes. Again, there's a mid-combustion. There's 3 levels of holes in this thing for 3 levels of combustion. And it's called a linear combustion chamber. And heat is going up. Again, none of that is getting into the oven. This is a fully isolated, insulated oven. You can start to see the heat coming up. We're just past 100 degrees. 120 degrees at 5 minutes in. So she's just starting to get going here. So not quite as clean as it will be here when it heats up. She's doing well. And that's the 5 minute mark. Fire started, and again, the amazing thing about this is the low amount of fuel required, how well insulated this oven is, how fast she comes up to temperature. It's pretty awesome. Okay, coming up on 10 minutes, and we are just passing 200 degrees. Still a little bit of smoke, but nothing compared to a traditional black oven or traditional ceramic wood-fired pizza oven. I keep making those comparisons because that's what most people are used to seeing, and most people have never seen anything like this. I know I hadn't. I cannot believe how well made it is. This is very impressive. Like I said, from the hammered stainless finish to the corners, the rivets. These are removable work surfaces, stainless steel trays, everything's stainless. Chimney is very easy to take off, has 2 screws on either side. There is a cover that comes with it that covers the entire thing, but just because it won't fit under my porch, I take the chimney out and I put when I roll it away. It's got heavy-duty lockable casters, so she'll lock into position and won't move around a bit. Let's take a peek in at the fire. Let's see how she's doing. Yeah, that's the kind of nice looking fire that we usually see from a SilverFire product. The flames just licking up in there into the area around the oven. So you can hear her tinging away. She's starting to heat nicely. Getting some nice red coals, nice radiation here. So yes, this thing it's doing its thing. Stop playing around with it, and you might do a little better, Scott. And we're up to 250 here. All right, coming up at 15 minutes, and we passed 300. So 5 minutes for 100, 10 minutes for 2, 15 minutes for 300. That's pretty good. That's pretty fast. 15 minutes in, and we're almost on 350. So she's climbing. And you have a tendency to put too much wood in, and that will cause it to smoke. And being impatient, which I can be, but she's still a nice looking fire nonetheless. A good bed of coals now, so I really don't need to put any more on this. I can definitely overshoot my temperature. I can get it too hot, so it's something you got to practice with. The amount of wood, the amount of air that you're letting it receive, you have to practice, no doubt, to get it right. So we're past 350. We're still smoking pretty good because I put a lot of fuel on it, but she'll calm down here, and when she's baking, she'll just I'm just trying to get it up to temperature quickly. So probably overshoot a little bit, put the bread in, and then time how long it takes to bake the bread. The one thing we're going to add, and what we're finding, is using a steel plate to bake on. And so I'm going to be cutting some 19-inch square quarter-inch plates instead of like a pizza stone. So they're finding cooking breads and pizzas on steel actually is more uniform, better heat transfer, a lot faster cooking times, and does a better job. There'll be some traditionalists that will argue. Again, I'm not a baker, I'm not a bread scientist, but a lot of the new bread science guys out of Seattle are cooking on steel. And so I'm going to get a steel plate, flame cut, and then kind of oil treat it, cure it, and cook our pizzas and bread on steel. So, all right, we're heading right there at 400 degrees, and we are at 17 minutes, and we've reached our temperature at 17 minutes. That's pretty good. Now, it's not as fast as probably my electric stove, but it's pretty close. So happy with that. Definitely never happened in a wood-fired pizza oven. So we're going to overshoot it a little bit. I'm going to shut down this primary combustion air coming in here, and just let her get air from the secondary combustion in the back here. I'll probably tone that down here in a little bit, and just let her gasify. Okay, I'll take one more peek in here, see how we're doing. Yeah, we've got a nice bed of coals, so we're doing really well there. Alright, we're 20 minutes in, and we're at 475, a little bit high. Got her shut down here, and we're ready to put her in our loaf of bread. My wife was very nice to make a loaf of farmhouse white bread. So that's what we're going to put in here right now. So this will cool down the oven a little bit. Just going to place it in the center. It's pretty even everywhere. The cool thing is I can still put my hand, it's so well insulated. I got my hand on this oven. It's not a problem. And we're sitting at 425. So I'm going to start here. Again, we went 21 minutes for the preheat. 21 minutes. It actually was 20. So I'm going to reset this thing. Set timer for 20 minutes. And that's how long we're going to bake our bread. Alright, the finished product is looking good. It's really smelling good, isn't it, Elijah?
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm going to cut it up. Alright, so let's cut some slices for dinner. Hard to beat fresh warm bread. That looks really good. Can you zoom in on that?
Okay.
You remember how to run that thing?
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. I don't know if you can see that. Might be a tad underdone, but it looks really good. I think it'll be real tasty. Alright, our first loaf of bread in the SilverFire Dragon pizza bread oven. And how we doing? You ready for some of this? I might eat it all. It smells really good.
It does.
Alright, the next time will be pizza or some other delicious food. But how do you beat that? 20 minutes to heat the oven and 20 minutes to bake the bread on a handful of hardwood. Engineer 775 signing out.